Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Gray Man Prepping. It is time for favorite day of the week, Tactical Tuesday, where we discuss tactics, gear, and more. And tonight's topic is why you need a computer in SHTF. And if you can't see it in small print here, it says, or any other emergency. How's everybody doing out there? All right, let's got more people rolling in here, so let me get over here and say hello. Oh, wrong button. Say hello to everybody. Almost hit the in stream button. I hate it. They got the in stream right next to the comments tab, so it's like, oops. All right, first one in several hours ago was KP Heathen. Then Walt Rogers, Troop 1351, Phelan Clan Wolf, Shady Hill Homestead, Geeky Gardens, Kalen's Train. It's the Marshmallow Man, who has been a member for 12 months. Let's see here. Becoming Dangerous, Wayne is here. Aidanir is here. The Watchman is in the house. Mother's Garden Club is here. Utah Mike. And Diana too. Make sure I'm not skipping over somebody here. All righty. And Wayne is listening while rebuilding a Beretta. And he just get everybody stuff. He's either get initially built or rebuilt with Wilson parts kits. Cool. All right. Oh, and Little Lone Prepper just came in. Welcome, welcome. Did I miss? Oh, Venerable Owl. I missed Venerable Owl. There's that Venerable Owl's here too. Okay, so tonight's topic is how some people get off on a tangent on it every time I mention it about having a computer in SHTF. And of course, the most common thing is, why? There's not going to be any power. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to have power. I know across the street they're going to have power, and across the other street the other way they got power, and then out a mile away is someone has a whole crap load of power stations in his garage, and he does reviews of them. And so I can make deals there too. So there, I'm going to have power. I got what almost 3,000 watts of solar power panels out here. I got power stations to hook up to them. I got regular battery banks to hook up to them. So yeah, I'm going to have power. That's why I'm going to have it. But everybody should have a computer. Seriously. And whereas a big desktop unit or something may not be it, a laptop, even a tablet or something that can process Word documents and PDFs and be hooked to a printer, that'll do it. Yeah, I know Kaylin will have power too. Because she has a power station. And Mark's not in here yet. Mark has a power station up at his little cabin. And so, all right, Diana, I'm going to address this when we get to it. Now, besides besides the solar I have, I got a tri-fuel generator here. And my wife has a bigger generator down in California. When she comes up here, she'll bring that generator up here. So we'll have redundant generators up here as well. But how often? Rebel Canner's in the house. Hey, Tammy. So how often is it that you're going to be without power, or the entire county you're in is without power, where you're not going to be able to use a laptop or a tablet or something somewhere to print something off that you need, such as copies of your homeowner's insurance, copies of your driver's license, copies of your proof of ownership of the house, stuff like that, which you should have already put aside on a thumb drive. All right. So let's get over here and get into some of the stuff I have typed up here. And let's go to the next slide here. All right, for this discussion by computer, I mean the device, any device, whatever it is, and all of its accessories, such as printers, external drives, cables, power supplies, etc. And a little prepper sitting here good too. 600 watt and an 1800 watt and a small, yeah, exactly, excellent. And if all you have is, I don't have my Kindle in here, it's in the other room, a Kindle or a tablet, and you can print, and you can plug in your a USB thumb drive or an external drive that has all sorts of data on it, and you can print off PDFs, Word docs, photos, whatever. That's what's important for a lot of things. So let's go to the next slide here. All right, to address the thing of bugging out. If you have to bug out, you will have to abandon your heavy books. I mean, seriously, if you got a couple bookcases full of books and you're having to bug out on foot, are you taking food, a tent, sleeping bag, or are you taking books? Coffee pot. Yeah. So what are you going to be taking with you? I guarantee you, when it comes down to it, 99% of you are not taking. If you're having to bug out, you're not going to take a bunch of books. A tablet, you can squeeze a tablet into a backpack, even a small laptop into a backpack if you have to, because when you get someplace, you can print stuff off. And even if you're not taking the book with you, you should be taking your external thumb drive with you. Oh, wrong. Let me go up here. Oh, I have bookshelves and bookshelves of books. And I got 2 terabyte hard drives full of PDFs of a lot of those books and other books I can't get hard copies of because they're only available in PDFs, mainly from the FEMA's archive websites. So I got a lot of stuff in PDFs, but I also have a lot of books too. I have all my Kindle books downloaded to my Kindle, so I can read books when the power's out. I've done that. All right. So you know, problems with books, long-term storage of them and stuff. Silverfish eat books. Yeah, my grandmother had that problem in her house. Now it's hard to copy a book and give a copy to somebody. Whereas if you have a printer, you can print stuff off. You can print a book off, give it to them. You can give them, if they have a thumb drive, you can give them a copy of the PDF or Word doc. On a computer, you can search a PDF and Word docs quickly and print the needed pages you need. All right, Wayne. See? So there's a lot of reasons why you should plan on having a laptop, a tablet, external hard drives, and if you can, a printer. Okay. Now here's a question for what are you most likely to have? An EMP or any one or multiple of the following: wildfire, hurricane, tornado, floods, earthquakes, landslides, zombie apocalypse, aka the idiot rioters from the Summer of Love, tore Seattle apart, LA apart, stuff like that. So the last time we had an EMP was the Carrington event. An EMP that would destroy a laptop was the Carrington event. That was the last time. And that was in the 1800s. And I forgot to look that one up, but yeah. So it's going to, the probability of an EMP, not that great. The probability of a wildfire every friggin' year in multiple states, multiple times in multiple states. Hurricanes every year, multiple times. Tornadoes every year, multiple times in multiple states, flooding every friggin' where, earthquakes. Some states don't get them that often, but every state has had an earthquake in it. Landslides, depends on where you're living at. Idiot rioters everywhere. Yeah. So yeah, there's things good. Now, if you're worried about fires and stuff, no, there are simple solutions. There are 1- and 2-drawer fireproof filing cabinets where you can store something in. If it's a house fire, and if you keep the fireproof file cabinet out in the garage, where you can go out there, roll it down the driveway away from the house, or where the house has access where you don't have a bunch of steps, where you could roll the filing cabinet outside if you need to as you evacuate it. That's always an option. Yeah. Everybody goes, oh, there's a massive EMP coming to Earth. No, it's not a massive one. It's just a little M7. Won't even affect a transistor radio. At tornadoes. Well, the CME from the sun creates EMPs when it hits the Earth. And yes, we get EMPs all the friggin' times. Little itty bitty ones, and most of the time, people don't even notice it. Occasionally, you might see some interference with radios and satellite internet hookups and stuff like that. And like Caitlin doesn't get hurricanes, but she gets the derenchos. Yeah, like Mark got, was it yesterday Mark got it? Or was it Sunday night Mark got one? And he just came through, he said it came through like a freight train. So let's go to the next one here. And there are bigger ones that even have built-in safes for keeping, really, sensitive documents even more protected. Yeah, okay. If you're in Hawaii, yeah, you're gonna get volcanoes. If you're up along the Ring of Fire, California, Oregon, and Washington, and Alaska, there's a possibility of volcanoes. But the higher probabilities is Hawaii and then Alaska. Tsunamis, yeah, every time there's an earthquake offshore, even onshore, close enough to force the water away, when that water comes back, yeah, you're going to get a tsunami. Now, this is an example. Now, I'm using it for my background too, but I figure I better throw it up here bigger. If the power goes out and it's a real SHTF situation where the poop has hit the fan and things are going down, and you happen to be lucky enough to have a river like this nearby where they got these little mini power stations along it, and for some reason the lines coming out of it have tripped or somewhere along the line, and it itself has, because the lines either came down or the substation shorted out, and the system inside this little power station here turned off. Do you know how to turn it back on? If you have download some documents on power stations and hydroelectric plants and stuff like that, and you have someone that knows electricity and someone that knows plumbing, and they put their heads together to look at what you have on your laptop, and they go, oh, we can figure this out and get this going again. And so they can find out where the line's broken at and getting some other people doing repairs, so they can isolate the local area to run off of this. Boom. Yep, Mike, you're right. A house fire is probably the most likely one, whether it's caused by something or like in California, the government, the state government acting like idiots and not doing the prescribed burns they're supposed to be doing to keep the wildfires from happening. And you get a wildfire like Pacific Palisades, Santa Rosa, A lot of the other ones they've have in the like Angeles National Forest and stuff were, yeah. Anyways, yeah. One way or another, a house fire is probably one of the most likely ones, because even in the 1906 earthquake in San Francisco, the city wasn't destroyed by the earthquake. The city was destroyed by the fire afterwards from all the fires caused by oil lanterns falling over, people's chimneys being damaged, and they're trying to start a fire, and houses catch on fire, and they have a firestorm. But yeah, fire is the most likely. To have a fireproof safe, even if you can't get it out of the house, the fireproof safe should be good, and the documents inside should be safe, so you can get your stuff, get your documents you need for insurance and everything else, if the insurance companies are even still up and going, depending on how, if it's a real SHTF or whether it's a personal life-altering event. I think that's the last picture I had. Yeah. So with that, I'm going to drop this in here for the usual suspects and others that have been up here before, either on different things or whatever. So there's the link for those that the usual suspects to come up and join. Of course, I haven't seen Mark around yet. Oh, internet problems. Hey, Kaylin, is the wind blowing where you're at, or is there lightning storms going on? And Tammy Harder's here. So let me take this down. And get that down out of the way. There we go. All right. Yeah, so there are a lot of reasons in SHTF and even in not SHTF, just in normal emergencies and disasters, why you should have a laptop or tablet or desktop. Granted, if you want to get out of your house, you want something portable. All right, Aiden here. Yeah. Just got home cooking dinner. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, you need your smartphone, which is a computer. Anyways, yeah. So there are reasons why you should have computers. Now, I am also going to switch here and say there are reasons why you should have books. If your house is set up right and everything, or you have a cargo container where you can keep extra books and stuff in, and everything's going to be protected, and it becomes SHTF, books are going to be power. Here's Tammy.
Hello.
So books are going to be power, whether they are hard copy or soft copy. Soft copy, if you have a printer or somebody has a printer, soft copies become more valuable, the fact that they can be spread around amongst more people. So it's just one of those things. And like we were talking last night on Camp Patton Family Compound and Rebel Canners. We did joint live last night with talking about tinctures and infusions and all the other related ones, similar related ones. We were talking about some of the books too, for, I don't want to get in trouble here with the AI, for health reasons. You're on, you muted.
It was for homeopathic.
Yes.
Educational purposes only.
Yeah. Wink.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's just, we were discussing, reasons there.
And you don't necessarily, if you have a few that you know how they do, you don't necessarily have to have a cookbook for those, because the recipe doesn't change.
Right. Oh, call me Vi. VIE just came in on your side.
Oh, hi.
And so having a computer or a laptop or a superphone that can interact with USB drives where you can get into it and do something on it some sort of electronic device where you can access thumb drives where you got
You froze.
large amount of PDFs and Word documents stored with information you're going to need after the disaster, after SHTF or TEOTWAWKI. That's like having extra skills, which is going to make you valuable amongst those around you as a resource, which means you can trade. You can trade. Well, I got a document here. You got some extra can of beans or whatever for me.
Yeah, and I do have one book that I will take when there's any kind of minor emergency of the personal kind, and that is an emergency preparedness binder that has copies of all of my documents, all of the certificates, all of our identifying information, our insurance information. It's all in one binder, and that's in my grab and go for small things.
Yeah. I was reading I'm going to put it up. Savage Lee's comment, because we did on the Saturday night events. We did Skynet about a month and a half ago. Yeah, we had fun with that one. But yeah, thing is, the other thing too is, cell towers and stuff. If it's a bad SHTF, no power. But then if you're able to get the hydroelectric plant here running, because you have the paper, all the books and stuff and the knowledge, and get people and you be able to get it running again, you might be able to power up a cell tower or two.
Every cell tower around here has its own generator.
For how long?
I don't know anymore, because the person I know that set up all the cell towers is no longer in my friendship circle. But I know that they used to have, some of them were gasoline and some of them were propane. The ones that are in areas where it's not completely rural were hardwired into the natural gas line.
Natural gas line, yeah.
Example
on that, though, is when I was helping Bank of America set up their data center in Concord, California. They had 7 buildings on the campus there, big buildings. Getting everything set up ready for Y2K, which was a big nothing. But they had generators and everything else, and while everything was they were getting ready. AT&T, MCI, Verizon, all had cell towers up on top of the 13-story building there in downtown Concord. Mm-hmm. So they were able that was just the cell tower footprint. And they were coming in. They were buying extra rooms to put generators in.
Yeah.
They were permanent leasing generators to hardwire extra generators in, and those generators were set to run 72 hours on their own fuel source, but they were also capable of being tied into the data center's emergency battery rooms in the bottom of Building D, which are huge rooms. And Building D on top of it it was an odd number, either 5 or 7 diesel locomotive engines powering generators. They could reverse feed and power half the city of Concord from that building. Yeah. So they were going redundant now. All of a sudden, it's like, they got generators. We want to have a rental agreement with them to get power from them if power goes out. But we also want to have 72 hours in case they're down doing repairs, so we can keep ours up and running until their repairs are back and doing. So, I mean, you want to talk about a place that was backing up stuff for generators and everything else. I mean, for computers. For Y2K, they bought so many friggin' laptops.
And I'm sitting here going, around here we have the opposite problem. The reason I was good friends with the guy that was doing the cellular maintenance is he took me with him to the one pasture. He was scared to go alone because they rented it from a farmer who put all his bulls
in that
field. And so you could not walk from your car to the building without getting attacked. And so I was the horn. I sat in the truck with him and blew the horn to scare the cows away from the building so he could come back out. So he'd call me, I'm on my way out, honk the horn.
Yeah.
So we have the opposite problem. We're too rural in all of that here.
Yeah. And okay, so Mark's making Tuscan chicken thighs, chopped tomato.
Ooh.
And Kaylin has invited everyone to go to Mark's house for dinner in Pennsylvania. So this is what, a lot of people have to understand. Like I'm going to harp on it again here. An EMP is most likely going to happen from the sun, from a CME from the sun, most likely. Doesn't mean there's not going to be other stupid things going to happen, but it depends where you're at, whether or not you're going to be a target from a nefarious person anyways. Yeah. But how many EMPs have we had that have been man-made aimed at people? Zero.
Well,
been, yeah.
One possible embassy in another country, but that's another story.
Yeah. But that may have been, and I'm not saying it's like, oh, our whole city's going to be taken out by an EMP.
Yeah.
Zero. How many have we had from the sun that we know of since this country's been around? One. And that was the Carrington event. Hey, Tibor, how's it going? Idaho Garden Girl. Hey, Steph, how's it going? She's lurking while she's driving.
Yeah. I mean, we were supposed to get Aurora Borealis the other day, and I'm like, okay, do I stay up and try to, that's as close as we get to an EMT here.
Yeah, and that's the same thing that caused this. Deals with the electromagnetic sphere and the particles from the sun from a CME, and like I said, every time you see a big borealis heading farther south, we got hit from a CME.
Yes.
But we have not gotten anything that's taken all power out. Now, even if we do, there are different types of CMEs causing different types of EMPs, and the strength of it plus the frequency of the EMP determines what's getting wiped out.
Right.
There have been several. Was it last year? There was someone when Twitter and hey, Lewis.
Hey.
When Twitter, Facebook, even YouTube, and a bunch of the other I don't do the most of the ones on it, but we're hit with problems during a big solar storm. But they were, I think the problems, the severe problems were only like an hour, and they were just sporadic things for the next 6 or 7 hours, and then everything cleared up.
Yeah.
No equipment was taken out, really, as far as I know. It was just interference in the communication systems. Okay, that was it. Last May. Thank you, Kaylin. Kaylin is another faithful follower of Suspicious Observers, now known as Space Weather News. So even if you type in Suspicious Observers, it's going to take you to where they changed the name to. And Sumi's in the house. Yeah, the auroras were seen down in mid-Mexico, not New Mexico, Mexico.
Yeah.
Down to Puerto Rico. So yeah. But with all those storms, we're getting on those. Their computers haven't been taken out. Home computers have not been taken out. One of the things to remember about an electromagnetic pulse, the longer the wire it's hooked to something, the stronger the magnetic pulse is going to be. The current generated. Telegraph wires from the Carrington event, because they went hundreds of miles.
Yeah.
Had a lot of time to gather all that static electricity, quote, static electricity. I'm just using it, the electromagnetic in the air, grabbing it and increasing the voltage as it went along.
Yeah.
That's why they saw ball lightning traveling along barbed wire fences out on big, huge monster ranches that have the barbed wire ran for miles and it skipped along.
Yeah.
So, as far as I'm concerned, in all my preparations and all my dealings at Homeland Security, an EMP isn't that big of a deal. But if you're really worried about it, there are some things you can do to take care of it. You can build your own Faraday cage using metal garbage cans, rubber garbage cans, stacked liners and stuff, and putting something in there. Or you can just let me see if I can find it here. Full power. Dang, I just forgot the name. Shoot, I'm missing up on it here. There's 3 words in there. Hey, Mark.
Hey, sorry,
Portable,
different
yeah.
icon, and I'm on my phone, so yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
There's my
shoot,
dinner.
I'm trying.
Everybody wanted to see my dinner. There you go, Kaylin. Where's CR? He's got to be hungry by now.
Yeah.
I'm
not remembering this. OLA. There we go.
CR must be on a diet. He's staying away from me. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
You don't want to see my
All right.
bacon on the screen.
I'll find it here. That's okay. Here we go. There are several websites. I just brought my friend's website just because, hey, he's a friend. He sold me stuff, and good. You can get these Faraday bags, 18 by 16 one, $21. Smaller ones, you get small ones to stuff all your if you have an extra phone, an old cell phone that you want to have just whatever, you can keep it going. You stuff that in there. You can stuff thumb drives in these things here. The smallest one is 8 by 8. That's $9. The biggest one is 32 by 38. You can stuff a small printer in there, and a laptop, and all your thumb drives and stuff.
Just got to make sure you have power to go with it. You better put your jackery and everything else in a Faraday bag, or that's cooked.
Yeah. But there's a variable different ways of setting stuff up to get stuff, to protect your laptop and stuff. And he changed it. He changed his YouTube channel to Minuteman Solar from Minuteman Prep. But his let me throw this in there. His page I was just showing there. There's the link to it. It's poweredportablesolar.com. And he says, he goes, that was he just threw a name together when he was setting something up because he didn't think it was going to take off. And now it's his main source of income.
Nice.
So
I got a question. These memory sticks or floppy drives that you can use on cell phones and laptops and that, how much can you save on them?
Well, it depends on the ability of the cell phone to access a drive. So like any of these, even if it's a small one like this, where's my big ones? I got them they're in the bag. Mine are in the bag right now. So mine are protected. Or if it's like a 2 terabyte or a 4 terabyte one, it's about that big around. They all have the standard USB plug on it. And it's whether or not the smartphones can handle it. Any laptop can handle up to well, I don't know. I got an 8 terabyte on this laptop over here as my primary backup on there. My Kindle, I've plugged in a 2 terabyte into my Kindle and accessed everything on it. So it depends on the software of the device and what it's allowed to do. generally most of these external drives have a file in them to handle the operations of the unit for whatever it's plugged into.
Laptops, they can, the one I got, I can do YouTube live stream, StreamYard on it. And so can you record stuff on the like that? Say you want to sit down and have a daily journal, but record it from your laptop?
You're gonna tear up space really quick. I do that with my GoPro. My 2T hard drive ran out of space after like 4 20-minute videos. It took up so I picked up a bunch of external hard drives to just log stuff on there.
Yeah, and one of the things you can do, so when I do videos and stuff, and I do any editing on them, I run through a software I have called Pinnacle, and Pinnacle takes it from this big old massive file and changes the format down to 720 whatever, and the file goes from huge down to 1/10 the size it was, and that's the file I save of my videos. That's also the file I've used to load up onto YouTube, because it loads up instead of hours, it loads up in minutes to load up to YouTube.
Yeah, because I was thinking to have enough stuff for memory, right? So that in case if you got to do a video on something, right, where I don't know, for argument's sake, you deal with brickwork, say, right, and you do it once every 15 years, right? And you want to repoint it and you want to do a video of it, right? Just stuff like that, or your gardening or whatever, right?
Yeah.
To have that as well as like an all-in-one laptop.
Yeah, those.
Kind of thing.
You can do generally like my old cameras here had a different format on them. Didn't have good audio on it. That's why I went to a different camera type system. But they came with 32 gig flash drives, and I could run several hours worth on that 32 gig flash drive.
Yeah,
on recording, because I did some on the roofing on the house in California, and I ran it for all day, but I had to go out there and because they had a timer on the camera, it only record 52.5 minutes, and it would stop recording. I had to go out there and stop as I recorded everything. But I recorded all day, and I didn't fill up my 32 gig because that was the format of that camera could put nearly 24 hours on that 32 gigs. It depends on the quality format of whatever you're recording. Now, the cell phone I use now as a camera, yeah, it eats up because it's almost a 4K camera. It eats up a lot of memory to do it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get everything off of my iPhone, because I got like the 1 terabyte memory, I think it is, on my phone, and it's already used up within a year. It's already full.
Yeah, and so that's one of the things. If you have you get some of the external drives, and you get the adapter so it plugs into your iPhone, you can just drag and drop files. It may take a while for it to do it. You may make sure your phone's fully charged, drag and drop, and come back to your phone an hour later.
I did that with my laptop. I plug my iPhone in, and it pops up, hey, what do you want to do with this? It's like, oh, I want to view the files. And then I plug an external hard drive into another USB port, and I just copy paste because it won't give you much of a, I mean, the way iPhones keep their photos stored in the files, it's like way out of order.
Yeah.
So I will just drag everything over onto an external hard drive, so it's all there. Then I'll go and check it and open it up to I'll take everything out of their folders, put them in. But the format for Apple is really weird. So even if you drag all the pictures into one folder and say sort by date, they're a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and this is one of the things is, talking about why you need to have a laptop or a computer or some sort of electronic device that you can do this with in SHTF is, or even just general emergencies such as earthquakes, tornadoes, wildfires, whatever. Because if you have, either if it's stored on your phone or stored on a tablet or it's stored in a thumb drive or an external drive of some sort, photos of your driver's license, your life insurance policies for everybody in the family, health insurance, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, and for some people, they have to have the riders for flood insurance or earthquake insurance as well, or now fire insurance riders for certain areas in California. You have to be able, if you have that information and you go to some place where all the insurance companies are setting up a little thing like a little FEMA station or whatever. You can go in and talk to your insurance agent. All right, what do you have? And you can pull out the flash drive and go, here you go. And they can bring, here's your, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, we got your account now.
Meanwhile, they should all have, if they're set up like that, they have access online.
Yeah,
you just give me your name and social security number, they should be able to pull up everything.
Should, but sometimes it's quick. There's times that people said it's quicker if they can give them the account number, then it's instantaneous. Because like when we deal with State Farm, we got like 30 different insurance policies with State Farm.
Right.
Because everybody has their own life insurance policy. Everybody has their own. We all have our own car insurance. We got 3 different properties with on it. We got all that different stuff. I even got insurance on my tractor.
Yeah.
So it helps to be able to pull up the proper one really quick. And then they say, all right, do you have any document? Yeah, all right, my copy of my photos on my driver's license is on there, copy of the, and they, it just makes it so much quicker and easier the more documentation you have to get stuff done.
The insurance company must be loving your monthly payment.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Well, thing is though, anybody else that has, if you have, multiple cars, you need to have multiple insurance. You need, with everything else you got to have, it's just, it'd be great.
You got bundled.
Yeah. But that's the thing is though, just a sidetrack with the amount we've had to use insurance on our vehicles and stuff. I almost wish if I'd known we would not have had to use anything this far, I would have put all that money into a Roth IRA or something, and it'd be a couple $100,000 or even $1 million by now.
And the worst part is that's what the insurance companies do, not to bash insurance companies. And then you make a claim because a tree fell on your car, and it's repairable, and it's $20,000 in repairs. And either they drop your insurance completely, they just drop everything. They're like, okay, we're done. Or they jack your rates so high up, and they say they won't, but they do. And it's like, why do I have insurance if you're just going to jack it up or kill me from it? I should just put the money in the bank and not touch it in a Roth or CD or something.
But you don't know whether or not you're going to be having problems or not. That's the problem.
Well, unfortunately, that's how they get you to buy insurance.
Yeah.
You never know. I play the lottery because you never know.
Yeah. So anyways, that's why you need to have a computer is be able to access all your documentation and stuff, print stuff off that you need to in case you can't get to it. That's why I also showed the fireproof file cabinets that, is a good thing for everybody to have. My wife has a small one, a fireproof box that she can lug out to the car if she needs to. And, but there are a lot of reasons to it. And like I said, I don't know how many terabytes of PDFs, manuals, operation manuals and stuff. And like I have several blueprints on how to build different gasifiers. I have blueprints on how to build hydroelectric power plants. I have blueprints on how to take an alternator out of a car, rework the wiring on it a little bit. And so instead of it being a 30 amp hard to turn one, it's now a 5 amp easy to turn. So I can hook it up to a bicycle and generate power. So I've got all the stuff I've been collecting over Yes.
Decades.
Since yeah, for almost 40 years here now that I've been collecting. And then some of the books I collected, I actually took the time and scanned them because you can't get PDFs on some of these books, and put them onto there. I still have the hard copies, but I turned them into PDFs. So
Thank you, by the way, for the canning ones.
yeah. So yeah, there's just so much fun, fun stuff you can do if you have the stuff, even if it's not SHTF. If you have the stuff later on, it's like, okay, I'm retired. So now I think I'm going to need to build this. Wait a minute, I think I have that document here somewhere. Instead of trying to find it, you got it. See, when he says, yeah, a handwritten journal is always good, because if you make it every 10 week to 10 days, whatever you've written down is going to trigger other memories that was too long to write out, and you can just spew off a video journal really quick. Then make it, one, yeah. Anyways, any questions in the side chat about why on what you can do with a computer in SHTF? What was interesting, I was watching a certain movie last night, the prequel to the Mad Max ones, Furiosa.
There's a prequel to Mad Max?
Yes. Yeah, it's called Furiosa.
When did that come out?
That came out several years ago. The main bad guy in it was played by Chris Hemsworth.
Okay.
Anyways, they were using, you could see in the, they had some sort of computer in the small computer in the background they were using to access data from. And of course, the one group had a guy that basically they had tattooed all sorts of information really small. So he had a magnifying glass. He was reading pages from books off his hands, his arms, and everywhere else on him. He was called the Book Man or the Word Man. But anything, it's interesting that in the realistic, can't pronounce the word.
Dystopian.
Yes, thank you. My tongue was tied upside down. Dystopian movies and stuff. There's the good ones. Somebody has access to some sort of computer because they've taken precautions.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is you take a precaution, get the stuff, And if someone's saying, "Oh, well, how are you gonna do it?" Well, if you have 100-watt solar panel, just a 100-watt solar panel, and you have an iron lithium battery or the other type of iron or other type of lithium batteries, the lithium ND something or whatever it is, and they got 3,000 to 5,000 life cycles on it, you're not going to be on the computer all the time. You're only going to use that computer when you need to, and you just got a little inverter. You plug it into it, make sure the battery's charged up on the for the computer, and you can do stuff on it, or you just run it off the other one, and you can plug your printer in, print off whatever pages you need to, and that way, it's simple thing. Set of power, 100-watt solar panel, hang on. A 50 amp hour battery. This thing has 3,500 life cycle on it. So yeah, it's this will power a laptop for 30 years.
How much was that?
I bought a 4-pack because it was cheaper. I think it was like $62.
Oh, that's right. That was the link you sent. Yep, I remember.
Yeah, I got the link from Gunslinger Outdoors, and I went to it, and they had it on sale. Yeah. And then they had it cheaper when you bought 2, and they had it even cheaper when you bought 4. So I bought 4. Oh, welcome back, Venerable Owl. I will go BC before computers. kind of laughing there. Okay. I'm not sure what she means by BC.
Bet crazy. Bet
Oh.
poop crazy.
But yeah, there's, you cannot remember everything. Books get cumbersome. And it's one of the things, if this house catches on fire, yeah, I grab this, everything I know is in that important bag because I got other stuff in the cargo containers and in the shop. And I just grab my books and I grab at least one laptop and, because I back everything up onto the hard drives, the external drives. So, before computers.
Oh, before computers.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just one of those things to think, I personally, I have books. Oh, I love my books. I love curling up with my books, at night, just snuggling in bed there with a real book. Oh, sometimes I'll read. I'll say I need to stop, and I just keep reading because there's something about paper. There's something about the smell and feel of paper reading that just is absolutely amazing. But I also have everything I can get. I have it on computer, one way or another. Computer, tablet, Kindles, whatever. And it's just one of those things. It's like, yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, I hope everybody got something out of this tonight, because that was the idea, is to make everybody realize that, hey, yeah, the odds of an EMP compared to everything else, it's like winning the lottery. Odds of having a fire in your house, a lot more possible, or the neighbor's house, and the neighbor's house setting your house on fire, because that happens quite a bit too in packed cities.
Yeah.
And if you doubt me, look up the Santa Rosa fire and look at the pictures. Look up the Palisades, Pacific Palisades fire. Look at the pictures. Entire blocks upon blocks upon blocks of neighborhoods. The fire just spread faster than they could put fires out. All right. Oh, that's yeah. And also have soft copies of your cookbooks. And if you have a Kindle, you can get a soft. Yours are in Kindles, aren't they? Yeah. So you can get
all four of my books are on Amazon, so you can get them online.
Yeah.
Versions or in print versions.
So yeah, you get that, and you have all those nice rebel recipes for times when you are having to be a rebel in cooking.
I have a new book coming out. I have got an idea. I've got inspiration. So there will be book 5.
Cool. I only sew when I have to. So I just sewing techniques. My wife, she has her own bookcase of sewing stuff, and then boxes of patterns. And yeah.
I just went to Joann's. They had all their patterns for $1. Before they got bought by the liquidator, they had them for $1. Right now, they're like $4 a piece, which they're half off. I liked it better when they were $1, so I went and bought a whole bunch of them for $1. So
yeah, I'm not sure if my wife got over there. I told her to get over there. Joann's is on their way home from work, so I hope she went by.
Yeah,
and
right now they have marked everything up so much that. And it's only like 30% off. It was better before the liquidators bought them.
Yeah, it's because the liquidators want to make every penny they can.
Yeah, there's nothing worth buying now.
Yeah. All righty. So let's see what's coming up here. All right. So Thursday, I'll be back live here in Gray Man Prepping for the midnight ride at 10 Eastern. Friday on Camp Patton Family Compound is we're going to be talking about linseed oil, pros, cons, what you can put it on, maybe even some things you shouldn't put it on. But we'll go over a bunch of that stuff. Yeah.
And how to store it.
Yeah. And how to store the rags you use to put it on. Yeah.
Yeah. I love linseed oil, but I also hate linseed oil for that reason.
So, yeah. And Saturday back here on Gray Man Prepping, the topic is after the medicine is gone. What are your plans? We gotta walk the line on that one to keep the AI from saying we're making.
Yeah, we are not giving advice.
Yeah, we're not giving advice or anything else.
Only educational purposes. Do your own research.
Yeah, exactly. Next Monday on Camp Patton is best vegetables for canning, and should you be planting them now, or should you have already planted them, depending on where you're at, or you got to wait a couple more weeks.
Maybe, definitely here. Although it's getting nice now.
All right, and next Tuesday here for Tactical Tuesday, the topic is skill training until you can't do it wrong. So we talk about muscle memory and all of the fun stuff, and what sort of skills and which ones you have to do constantly, which ones are more perishable, and which ones kind of stick with you all the time. How do you get out of print book? Well, it depends.
Find a used bookstore.
That's one.
eBay has a lot of out of print books.
Okay, some of them, if you can put what the title of the book is, I can see right now if I can find something for it. I know there are some books, such as the original Scout Manual by Lord Robert Baden-Powell. I got that on PDF.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What is that? What is that library that you can get? There is some a library online.
There are PDF libraries out there.
Yeah,
and,
you can if you type the number in, you can get it. Yeah, thrift books. There was a book trading site I was using for a while that I get a lot of out of print books through that, where you traded in your books and you got credit, and then use that credit to get books that were posted on the website.
Yeah, Tukla slid in here. Let's see, several online sellers, eBay, Craigslist, yard sales, thrift stores, libraries is someplace else. Sometimes, some libraries are PDFing their books, and you check out the book electronically then, and get it back.
Also, check out if you have any little free libraries in your neighborhood. A lot of people put their used books in there, and you can get a ton of really good books.
No Leaves of Grass is not cover, so it's unique. So the name of the book is No Leaves of Grass. Is that true? Is that correct? Moon over Miami came in. Happy Mac is here. Happy Mac says top 500 reads of all time. All right. Let me see. I think I've heard No Leaves of Grass. I think I heard Uncle Al talk about that. Let me check something out here. Let's see what that is. That's not coming up. There's Leaves of Grass, a poetry collection by Walt Whitman. There are there's YouTube's videos from it. But let's see, get down to the bottom here. It's still going. Okay, thrift store, everyone's still talking. So there's sometimes you can look up and you look like type in the name of a book. And
Gutenberg. Gutenberg has a lot of the really old books on PDF.
Yeah.
Gutenberg.
All right. So so I just found the click here on it. So I got Leaves of Grass PDF, and here you go. You got Internet Archive, Kindle Store, Audible, Barnes and Noble has, you know, they got some books, ebooks, audiobooks. So yeah, a lot of these are different types of ebooks and stuff. There's ones where you can borrow, the lending libraries and stuff. So there's different ways of getting stuff like that. And that's the thing is, if you look up manuals, like gasifier gasifier manual or gasifier blueprint PDF, some of the links, at least one of the links, should take you to the to FEMA's PDF archives, where you can download everything for free that's in that archive. I'm a poet geek. All right, everyone. Just a reminder, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps: water, food, medicine, clothing. Learn a new skill every month. Make it a usable skill that makes you more valuable in SHTF. And, oh yeah, if you don't have a garden yet, plant one. If you got one, try to make it a little bit bigger. All right, we'll see you all Thursday night for the Midnight Ride, unless Tammy goes live, and then she'll pop up if she goes live this week.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow, not Thursday.
All right, keep an eye out for it.
Maybe Sunday, because I'll be out at the cabin. So maybe a live feed on Sunday. Who knows?
Ooh.
Cool.
Mine's just a pop up whenever. I usually I'll put like 2 hours on there in case anybody is hooked up. They can be like, oh, really? On a Sunday? Okay.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Take care.
Have a good night.
And